la 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 la.
Pasta ciccia, eat a plate of pasta ciccia. Why you want it?
On this week's episode of Taste Fresno, we are making pasta with Fresno Bites, aka Chuck, and David Scheidt, aka The Cured Ham. So David is here with me now. We're going to explain the process and give a couple of tips on the way. So welcome, David.
Thank you, Alisa.
And we're going to be posting the recipe or for the dough on Taste Fresno, so people will be able to check that out and make it themselves. The other day, actually not the other day, but a few weeks ago, Chuck on Twitter asked how to make pasta, and David so graciously offered to teach both Chuck and I how to make ravioli and papparadelle.
To make it truly by hand, what we did is we created a well of both flour and semolina. What we're doing is simply incorporating the flour, all the dry ingredients, with the wet ingredient, which is solely egg, and then working the dough. As you can see, both Alisa and Charles or Chuck work over until it becomes a nice, smooth consistency. And we don't want
It's a lot harder than it looks. Well, actually, you can tell that I'm having a hard time. Okay, now tell me again about the Bolognese sauce that we're making.
Sure. So the Bolognese sauce is a classic Italian meat sauce. You slice onions. We would also add a little bit of tomato, and then your meats. In this particular case, we did a combination of both lamb and beef, and we saute in a combination of both olive oil and butter, and we just let this cook down slowly, pretty much for the 3 hours that we were both making pasta and sauce.
Refresh my memory, how long did we let the dough sit before we started rolling it out?
We set it aside for roughly 30 minutes, and it allows the dough to rest a little bit, and then we can begin rolling the pasta.
Okay, now tell us about this contraption, this wooden contraption we see cutting the pasta and the ravioli in a different way.
So that wooden contraption is older than anybody that's going to view this video. It's probably 100 years old, and it was brought back from Italy. And what we're seeing with the ravioli is that you don't want to add too much filling. We want to have just the right amount of filling with the pasta itself.
We didn't let either pasta boil for very long, wasn't it 1 to 2 minutes?
That's correct. With fresh pasta, you don't nearly need to boil the pasta for the 10 minutes often that you will for a rigatoni, a dry pasta, for instance.
We enjoyed your Mastro Scheidt wine, which is new.
It is new. It's
new on the market.
It is new on the market. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon, all from Sonoma County. Again, it carries my family names, Mastro, which is my mother's maiden name, and Scheidt, which is my father's last name. It's Italian and German heritage.
And David, do you have any last tips for pasta making in general?
I would say with pasta making and with pasta in general, it's always about being simpler and less complex. I think when you are more simple with your pasta, you never really need more than a couple ingredients to make a really great pasta.
Yeah,
Never
I'll
overwork
take it.
Yeah. Sold. We'll have to do pasta course 201
That's
instead of
next.
101.
That's next. Well, thank you so much, and we look forward to more recipes from you in the future.
Thank you very much, Alisa.
And thanks, Chuck from Fresno Bites, for joining us and making really amazing ravioli.
Uncle Tony's dying, he's a-bringing home the wine.
Angelina and her fellas gonna dance a tarantella. Tune up a